What's up, guys? This is Ashnak. Showcase I've ran in RTA and he is on a lot of speed, 301 speed. This is my first account, guys. I don't have him at plus 15 just yet, but it doesn't matter. I'm using him on a support build with quite a bit of effectiveness. Of course, super high speed. I got, some crit, bit of crit damage, some attack, so I can deal a bit of damage, soften up the enemy. But I've been trying him out on two different artifacts. Now he is on Oath Key, so he will have 30% chance of hitting Earth heroes, of course, if they don't have some evasion mechanism to make it worse for me. But yeah, Oath Key is definitely a good one for him beside the Unity artifact from Guild War. The thing with the Unity artifact from Guild War, well, you could reserve that for another hero. Like the way I have him built, he's not going to deal a lot of damage. So of course, Oath Key works out just fine. And initially, I had him on a Curse Compass, which I'm actually using in this battle, and it was okay. But you have to use the skill 3 straight off the bat. If you use the skill number 2 first, then you will not get the effectiveness increase. So I was able to reach almost 200% effectiveness with Curse Compass, so I definitely did like that, but you cannot use the skill number 2, so no team-wide immunity, no attack buff for himself. To be honest, the attack buff for himself not a big deal because he doesn't actually deal that much damage with this particular build. So on my count number 1, I'm climbing back up to champion. So, currently in Master, heading toward Challenger, of course. And it's rough, man. For Cleavers, as a free-to-play player, day one player, 3 years of grinding Wyvern, basically. Even me, I'm having a rough time. Even if I have some really high speed on some of my heroes, like, it's just so rough, guys. Like, cleaving is in such a bad place. Like, you need insane amount of gear. If you think my gear is godly, yes, I do have pretty godly gear here and there. Some heroes, their stats might look godly, but it's nothing compared to players that spend money, players that maybe got better luck than me. It is definitely rough out there. So if you're a free-to-play player, you know, purely cleaving, speed cleaving is definitely something that is not recommended to chase after. Like it's way too hard to gear for. To be honest, like maybe mixing some cleaving, more like speed heroes to contest the enemy's speed and have some like tanky bruisers in there. Maybe stack a bit of like layers of protection, defense buff, Aureus, adamant shield, stuff like that. You could have like a high speed hero like Ran, so the enemy doesn't pick him. You can have an assassin Sid. You could always have a Pavel built, an Ice Kisei. Heroes that can be really dangerous by themselves with a very powerful kit. And they're going to be helping you out if you have your best speed on these heroes because you've been farming Wyvern for a long time, then of course it's going to be good. It's going to be good because you can definitely win a lot of battles and you can stop someone's cleave because you were able to take out one of their hero, you were able to disrupt their team. So yeah, the gear that I have on Ran is actually the gear that I had on my Cerise. So I just moved that along onto him, and damage, of course, is not that high. But that's not the point. The point is to remove the immunity, two buffs from the enemy, and then apply the defense break. 85% chance, it's not 100. But then there's also the stigma debuff, which actually gets removed first. So it's good that it protects defense break. I do really like that. The fact that he gets skill nullifier is also real good to boost his own survivability. But to be honest, after he uses the skill 2 into the skill 3, job's done, man. Like the job is done, and if you've done that, that's plenty. That's plenty fine, and the rest of the team will be, finishing the battle. And if you are able to land the fence break on a hero or more, it's definitely going to make it much easier for you. And you guys know, you're shredding 70% of their defense. They're just gonna go down. It's just bound to happen, unless they got a cleanser in there that will go between your damage dealers. So you gotta be careful about that. So I've been experimenting with different team compositions, and near the end, I'm going toward more like I need some fast speed heroes. That's the thing. You need speed gear on a lot of heroes. Like I have very high speed. You know, on Rand 301, but he has 129 base speed, so it's much easier to scale his speed. You know, the gear that I had on, on my series, I only had her at 290 speed. So by moving along that gear onto Ran, 301 speed. Pretty crazy. But he doesn't boost the combativeness of your team, so you cannot follow up after him. You can use like a Challenger Domino to push the combativeness of your team by 20%. You know, if he lands critical hits on the enemy team, that's one way to actually follow up back to back and do your combo, and that's definitely very powerful. I don't have skill ups on my CDOM anymore. We called her a long time ago. Didn't invest the Molagora into her since then, so I definitely need to work on that. Another thing is that some heroes are so powerful, players that still cleave, Wells, or players that they want players with like a lot of speed. I can keep up with it, let's say, but I gotta build meta heroes, and building meta heroes is not really something that I like fully enjoy. So like I would have to invest, fully build like a Ram, so the enemy doesn't pick Ram, and I could be cleaving with her, right? Like things like that. I could be, putting gear on a Violet. I could have lifesteal set on him, and I could be incorporating him in my cleave. So I don't actually have to ban Violet and just pick him for myself and use him against the enemy. My Landy is on a Bruiser build, but to be honest, for cleaving, too slow. Too slow on a counter set. I would prefer to have her on a speed set, let's say. So there's a lot of like tweaking. But yeah, Ram is very dangerous. But if you can use her in your cleave, it's going to help you. But the most important thing is that the enemy will not have her. So you don't have to like pre-ban Ram. You can just use her, so you don't have to waste your pre-ban or ban phase Ram. You can ban someone else. So that's the same deal with Politis. I picked Politis because she's very strong, right? She brings Tagil's Ancient Book, that's 20 souls. So I could Soulburn Pavo, could Soulburn Blaze Dingo, and Blaze Dingo, man, he's crazy. Like, he's able to provide sustain, he's able to protect himself and someone else with invincibility shield, and that's really, really strong. And when he applies it on himself, you Soulburn, and then he gets an extra turn. He still has it after that turn. So, yeah, he is very, very good. Sorry, he doesn't have the invulnerability after he uses a skill number 2. So you skill 3 on someone on your team, you get attack buff, you get invulnerability, and on himself, and then he used the skill 2. I can't remember, guys. I think when you Soulburn the skill 3 into skill 2, he still has the invulnerability shield. But if you wait after using the skill 3 another turn, then of course you will lose it. So yeah, he's very, very strong. Some players don't know how strong he is, but I have some very good gear on him, and the gear of my heroes, the stats of my heroes are at the end of the video. And yeah, you might want to check that out to get an understanding of what kind of gear, what kind of stats you actually need to pull things like this off. Cleaving is just like master, but I'm fighting some players that were in, champion in previous leagues. So, I was on in Champion League on this account actually before, but I actually got demoted, right? Because I didn't do any battles for a long time. I actually pushed to Champion when I was in Champion at the early start of the league. So yeah, that's the thing. It's just going to keep on going down if you don't do your battles. But as you can see, the stats are pretty crazy on my heroes, and you definitely need those heroes, like some of these heroes, to actually pull off cleaving. And it's like I said, man, maybe building Ram, Violet, incorporating these heroes in your cleave setup. It doesn't have to be a bunch of heroes that hit everyone, but if you bring some meta heroes, then the enemy cannot pick them, and it really helps you a lot. So you don't have to force ban, pre-ban, ban phase, and you can win a lot of games because of that, but you gotta follow the meta. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. I'm Astronauts. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.